Hello and welcome to the Attic Tour Part 2. Today we're looking at this section of the set, and yeah, let's have a look really. So what we've got, we'll start at this side. So this is actually built, it's entirely hollow on the inside. All of these beams are hollow, but built to look like they're proper beams, and yeah, it's all sat on here onto a piece of foam board all the way along. The entire thing is sat on that. Excuse my chair, it's very squeaky today. Yeah, and then what I did is I just built up a section and then put this floor. These are all to interlock to the other piece that I showed last week. And basically every single one of these is a separate piece. It's in the other one they were separate pieces. This one, I think one or two over this side are separate pieces, but they are just cut to look like they're separate planks, as in on the inside it's entirely just a piece of foam board all the way along, but I've indented into the top so that when I marked off with the paint, it looked like planks basically, and it's very dusty because I haven't used this in a few months, so it's very dusty. But I think it adds to the look, making it all dusty. Now, yeah, we'll go back up here. Here's some of the props that you may have noticed through the episodes. There's loads of maps and pieces of paper and things throughout that I've found and edited to try and match the real set. It follows on that wall at the back as well, and yeah, that follows around most of the set really. There are some repeats, but hopefully you didn't spot that in the episode, or you won't spot that in the episode. Here is the Sontaran helmet. There's some other props, books. There's a bit of glass. This plastic here is actually pieces of the first Doctor's TARDIS rotor, because I had to smash it to decrease the size to make it move. So all of these bits are pieces of the rotor that I had to break off, and I was going to throw away, but then I thought, oh, they might fit well, so that's where they're from. This is a working LED light here. There's a bit of metal cable that sits on the desk here, and it just pulls the LED up, and then this is just a bit of paper on the end, and the controls are on the outside, so I can make them flash. There's also one at the back here that comes through the roof and lights up the back. Also one here on this desk, done the exact same as that one, and they also point into the roof as well, just to give it a bit more central lighting because it needs it basically. But yeah, those are the LEDs, as you can see. They go round through the back, over the top. This is the other window, and there is the controller. There's the other window, which sometimes I will put a light through there so that it comes through the window there. But at the moment that's not there. So if we just get back to standard on. There we go. At the back we've got these boxes. These are just paper cutout ones. This desk at the back, with a few other props on. These desks do come out. This one's stuck in, but they are entirely hollow. This drawer is hollow as well. It's just been built to make it look. Come on, focus on it, please. I'll manually focus it for you. Yeah, they've been entirely built to look like they're real drawers, but they're not. Same on this side as well. If we just try and focus, actually this one does actually come out, so I can show you. But yeah, it's entirely hollow, and they've just been built to fit into the gaps. This one here just slots in and it fits perfectly, so that was useful. But yeah, the back drawer is the same, it's entirely hollow. I think this one actually comes off of the wall, but I'm not going to try and pull it off. Now the back curtain, because that is actually, it's actually toilet roll, I think. I've just folded it. I think it's 2 bits of toilet roll that have just been folded, and that just covers up the window. On the other side, if I take you round to the back, around the back here, this is just a separate thing. That is the back of the window. There's also a window there, and they've got what's it called? They've got lines and stuff to make them look like windows. That one's actually fallen down, but that one you can see is in there. And I've just added a bit of, well, it's not clear plastic, but it's sort of a plastic that you can't see through. Same with that window as well, just so that when the light does come through, it shows up stuff. Same with that one, and then this one here. Yeah, but that is a little part there, and that's the corner. Just a bit brighter so you can see everything. But yeah, that is what that back bit is. I did actually realise after I built this that this side of this beam should actually be further back than this wall, and I didn't know that because there's not that many pictures of it, and I spent ages researching every single episode to try and get pictures and screenshots so that I could work out how it fits, but this beam actually isn't connected to the wall whatsoever. I can actually get my finger behind, and that goes all the way into the ceiling and then out the top over there. But yeah, that is a mistake which I didn't have time to fix. Around here, just that little tiny window, there's a box there. We'll get onto the library section later. On this side we have the computer, which is actually printed, and I think it's backed onto a bit of foam board. Same with the keyboard, and the mouse is a tiny piece of foam board with like lines to make it look like a mouse. Bits of paper and props and things also on there. There's also like the Dalek picture. If it will focus, I'll probably come out. But anyway, there's the Dalek picture, which I think was actually is on the wall of the actual set. So that is a good call. I've just broken that light. There we go. Then we've got pictures of the Brigadier, Sarah with K9 from K9 and Company, the Brig again, and oh my god, Harry there, a bit of paper. I tried to match them to the actual pictures that we were given. The one from K9 and Company we don't actually have, or I didn't have at the time, so I just picked one that was similar. These are all painted on, these details. It's quite bad when you see it like that, but it's alright because you probably won't see it that much in the episode. On the floor here is the carpet, which is basically just a bit of paper I printed off. This is a coffee table that I bought for it. That's got the cup of tea that has been in lots of FAs and stuff. That comes from the Ironside Dalek from the Churchill Victory of the Dalek set, the Comic Con exclusive that came over here. I just pulled that off of the tray. There's another book, and this is actually the newspaper that was in the Time Dilemma. It's a prop that I actually found, I quickly made in 2013 for Series 3 of my FA, and a few months ago I found it on the floor somewhere, and now I've been using it as a background set for this, so that's a nice thing. Here is a couch which I actually got off of eBay, if it will focus, come on. I'll just pull you off then. I'll put you down here. Yeah, this is the couch that I bought off of eBay, and I'll focus it myself then. Yeah, it was originally brown, but I've repainted it. There's the original brown, and I've just painted it red to match the red sofa. It's not identical to the one in the Sodan Adventures, but I thought it was the closest I could find. It was quite cheap. I think it was only about a tenner, but that's in 1/12 scale, as is the coffee table and the chair. The chair here used to actually be red. That one was brown and went red. This was originally red and I painted it brown. This is, some of people might recognise it, is the chair that I used in the Years of Trenzalore in 2014. It's the chair that I bought for the Trenzalore story episodes in the basement with the crack, and it's just been sat on that set ever since. So I decided that I would just paint it brown. You can see the red slightly underneath. But yeah, that was just a prop that I decided that I would bring over, repaint and use in this, which was useful. And it's not too much of a custom, it's just a straight brown repaint. But yeah, that is pretty much that section. Up here is a beam. This has a few books on and the violin from the Sherlock set and some more books. In the real episode there'd be plants and things, and I think there was like a speaker, but I never got around to actually making that. It wasn't until I actually started filming that I realised that I hadn't actually had anything up there, so I just threw whatever props I could find, which was some spare books and things. But yeah, that is this section, which is quite a nice section, and it does split off from the library at the back. If we turn this round, I'll just bring the lights over because they hang. Now this is the library section, and that it does actually, as with the other one, it slots in to the bottom, and there's some steps here but they never actually go down it. And here's the view from here of that set. Now this is the library. Now because I haven't been using it, it has gone into a bit of wear and tear. All of the books on the lower levels have just collapsed into the floor. There's a few props and things, but what I'll do is I'll get a few of them to see. They're just basic designs. I think that is the back cover of the Summer Falls book. I know that there is another copy somewhere, and on this shelf here, without pulling, maybe you should use my other hand, here is the Melody Malone book from The Angel Take Manhattan. That was blue tacked down, but there is a lot of books and things that were all along the shelves. They all are stuck together in chunks so that they sit on the shelf a lot better. They are all just printed off and then stuck on like 2 by 1 centimetre foam board pieces. But yeah, and there's some other props elsewhere just sitting around, and the top ones are actually printed on because I run out of books. Actually the top section around here, these are all, no, these are, some of them are separate, as you can see at the back there, but there were so many that I couldn't make that many. I think I made, the top ones are definitely my favourite, the most precise ones. Just see if I can get like one that's on its own. There we go, there's one that's on its own. Yeah, as the others are just a bit of foam board and printed book, and that's basically literally all of them. There's a Dalek gun, there's a cyber mat, there's loads of an Auton, an Estine ball, River's gun. There's basically a load of little tiny props and things. Yeah, this is basically just a tiny little cube of a room with loads of books in, and they've just gone everywhere. But yeah, that is this section too, and that just fits onto there, and we've got a full Sarah Jane set. Okay, I've just put the stairs and door back onto this one, so you can get a feel of what the set looks like. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've packed away the other section of the set to be travelled back to my home, because I've just finished my second year of university, so this needs to go. I built this in this room, and now it needs to be returned. It needs to be transported for the first time a few hours away, where it will sit alongside my other sets back at home. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in custom figure reviews for the episode, for the figures that were seen in the episode over the next 2 or 3 weeks.